So, okay, we're live. Yay.
Streaming soon. Yep, live.
Okay, so I can't remember where we actually got to before, to be fair.
We'd added a ghost.
Let's go run it and have a look. So yeah, I think we end up with a bit of a mundane ghost running around a board. So here we are. And, oh yeah, it doesn't die properly. That was it, wasn't it? So our collision of the ghost doesn't actually work as we expect it to. I was going to write some tests around that, but then we decided to stop.
But share your screen because we can just see.
Yeah, share the screen.
Have you?
Yep, should be able to see
Maybe I
the
need
screen.
to click some button then. That one. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, so we end up with. Here's a way we can just jump through it straight through the ghost.
Oh yeah.
So it works fairly well, except for you can't die. What I noticed is it's actually a lot harder hours to run away from the ghost than the other one, and that's because the actual proper game, after playing it a couple of times since the last thing we joined, actually only changes direction when it hits a wall.
Right.
As ours will change direction straight away.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think it recalculates like the distance between being in front of the PacMan. Or is it behind the PacMan, this one?
Behind, yeah.
Every single time it hits a wall and then just keeps following it until it hits another wall and then recalculates it, I think it seems to be.
Okay.
So it either goes when it hits a wall or when it hits a junction point. It can change direction at a junction point.
Yeah. That's it's like reverse engineering the actual how things work. Yeah. I think Peter sent us some pull requests as well, didn't you?
I did some more, yeah.
Yeah, so should we go and look at them as well right here?
Can't remember what I did now.
It was the ratio of pixels to cell size or something.
Oh, yeah, I think pixels to cell size, because if you start using the map pieces, Windows, the rendering thing, the image, I can't remember what it's called, draw image, doesn't scale properly. So you end up with like a slither of the next sprite on the edge of the sprite, so you get like little artifacts everywhere. So yeah, do the other one first. Do 8 first because 9's got 8 in it.
All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So this is the one we were saying. Yeah.
So we do a pixel. All it does is a pixel buffer, 1-to-1 pixel buffer, and then uses that as the drawing board, and then draws the whole thing at the end of the tick, and scales it up.
Yeah. Shall we let's check it out and run it? I think I've still got your things. Git fetch all. I think I have to put a slash it still in. Let's go run it. Looks a bit weird now, huh? How can we look like?
It's because the drawing, the arcs and stuff are so it's trying to do arcs on 8 by 8 pixels. But when you swap it out for the actual sprite colors, the proper sprites, it draws quite nicely.
Ah, right. Okay.
Because we're still using arc and rectangle on an 8x8 square. So it doesn't draw very well.
Okay. Should we imagine? Okay.
Or do we leave it till we've done the switch the sprites out as well?
Well, it's still playable at the moment, isn't it?
Okay,
That's what
then,
I'm
yeah.
Can do. Switching the sprites out is. I've got the switching the sprites out, but it's not finished.
Okay. You're like a UI guy.
Not usually.
It's just.
Yeah, it's fine.
This one called. Put that one up there. And then there's this one. Oh, the score, adding the score to the board.
No, that's the scoreboard on.
It's just a board.
It's got the other. It's probably got the other merge in it as well.
Yeah. It should do the diff right now. It should do. How does it get the string?
Which one? Render string. It's further down.
That's a new method. Yeah.
Yeah, new method there.
Oh, right. So there's like an offset what each uses for the characters.
Yeah. So they were already in the sprite renderer last time.
Okay. So registers shit. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I see. And then it increases X in the loop. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. That's cool. See it working. Yeah.
It'll obliterate the top of the screen. You need to move the map down 2 lines, 3 lines, I think.
Oh, well, actually, that's pretty cool. Actually, is that how it's supposed to be at the top?
Yes, it's top.
Oh, okay.
If you put 3 blank lines on the top of your map to nudge it down, it'll all be nicely lined up.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. Cool. Yeah. Why is it over there?
That's just where it prints on the. That's where.
Oh, right, because that needs to be going down by 2 parts because it's overlaying on top of it.
Yeah.
You could also do one of those translate commands just to move the origin down slightly. The other way of doing it. If you render the scoreboard first. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you want to open the code? I'll show you what I mean.
Yeah. Let me just. Has this got master? Merge made by recursive strategy. Nice, thanks.
Is that me?
No, it's a. I've been teasing myself looking at specs in new computers recently. About getting a AMD Ryzen 7, I think, no, Ryzen 9, which is a 16-core machine with 64 gig RAM. That'd be pretty fast. Wouldn't have to wait for it like this.
Yeah, so if you go to the form in the UI.
One second, my computer catches up a bit. Still loading Visual Studio.
You'll have to, if you nudge the if you nudge the board down, you'll need to nudge the score down as well, because the score uses the bottom of the board to position itself.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay.
At the bottom where it draws the lives and stuff, it uses the bottom of the board. That's what I was saying. If you just make the board 3 lines higher, 3 lines taller at the top, it'll just naturally nudge itself down. It's like just having 3 blank lines. Then you're in pixels of pixels, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Your first line of the board is the 3rd row in
okay.
grid, as it were.
I'm here, did you say?
Well, it depends which way we're going to do it now. But
what I did was on the, is it in game or is it in game?
In game?
Yeah, game. In the file game.
Yeah, but if you put it in there, then the game then has to the whole grid of the game. That's about the game logic. As I think drawing it is different from how it's being represented. Well, how the logic
if you
of the
try
board
my way,
is.
if you move that render score line to the top above the walls.
1 second, my computer's being really slow. Render
score. If you draw that one first, so put that on to the top,
and then do that,
and then do
G dot transform.
yeah, translate transform, isn't it? I think. Translate transform, yeah. So x would be 0, comma, and then it's going to be 3 times the.
Or the shell cell.
Yeah, which we probably don't know at this point. Or is that?
Is that the pixel grid one? Is that that one?
Yeah, cell size.
Yeah, see what that does. We might need to split render score in half then, do we?
Yeah, you'll have to
have a render lives or something, do we?
Yeah, the lives are printed at the bottom, I think.
If we just take that out of render score and put it in its own method, I think it'll work.
Yeah, should do, yeah.
Oh yeah, so that sticks to the top. Probably. It scores.
It does have a blank line between it on the arcade.
Oh right, so it's supposed to only need to go 2, really.
That's as it's rendered in the arcade with a blank line, yeah.
Oh, like this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the outer line around the map is double thickness, so it actually comes closer to the scoreboard.
Oh, okay, yeah, across the top there, yeah.
Is that all right for timing then? Should we have that?
Yeah, I think so. And then the lives appear at the bottom, don't they?
Yeah, that's where that PacMan is at the bottom. That's over right in the map now.
Oh, okay.
So you just want
so yeah, take that line, put it in its own method.
But I just need to push in back to here, right? Oops. Nope. Oh, wait a minute. That's on board. What are we in? Oh, this is the render loop. Yeah, okay, that needs to go in. No, it's escape from game. Does that work?
You probably have to go +1 now because I think it needs to go down 2 lines. That'll do it.
Show you guys the link actually.
Nope, that missed. It probably was right where it was.
Yeah, because we moved the board down, it's all be relative as it was.
It
That just
might be -2. It might be -2 because we've moved 3 lines down. It needed to move 2 lines. See what it does. Oh, there.
it's supposed to be coming in bottom.
You come there. So where is it?
It's a,
Oh, there's no lives. Game.live is 0. That'll be why.
is that what it's there?
Yeah, because I used that originally and it wasn't working. I realized game.live was never set to anything.
All right, okay. Let's just try it back there.
Yeah.
Paste this in Slack as well. Around the code. Oh right, okay, yeah, that's right then.
That's good.
So let's put it back to life because that's correct.
I'm thinking the first test for today, maybe you should start a game with 3 lives.
Yeah, I'd fix that problem, right? What are we doing? Moving board down. And we can merge it into master. What was that last branch? I'll open you guys' terminal as well. Right, cool. Should we start off with the test?
Yeah.
Should start game with what, 3 lives?
Yeah, I think so.
And then I'll solve that problem. I'll just check it here. Okay. Yeah, it is 0. Do you two want to fix it?
You sent out the link? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I sent out the link. The
Oh,
code, the link for the code's in the chat, by the way,
Oh, yeah, so it is.
in the Slack chat.
Yeah, I'll just join in half a second.
Joining.
says you've joined.
I have. Oh, I can hear my fan whirring.
Yeah, mine's like that. Oh, little laptop.
Shall I fix this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to kind of jump in and fix it.
I think it's just that.
I was thinking, should that actually come from the board?
Yeah, and I was just wondering that myself, because we might want to do a test where we start off with 1 life and kill ourselves to make sure we actually get game over.
Yeah.
I'll add that to the board first then.
And we might want to rename board to just be game settings or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think we might. I think we should. Yeah.
Here's what card, isn't it?
Which one's this one? This is the test one, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that'll do it.
Let me just build it.
Oops, what went wrong there? My game board does not contain a definition of lives.
Oh, there's 2 boards in there. There's one for the test and one for the implementation.
Well, I did both of them.
Oh, this is. Oh, you create a constructor for
That's what it is.
the test one,
Yes.
which is set to lives. It's got a random dot in it.
I
think that's the problem. And we're not passing it into constructor, so it's
yeah. Where's that get?
Board loader.
Okay.
Oh, that's.
Is it board loader?
Yeah, that's probably just 3, right?
Yeah. Yep. Hey, green.
It's a test run. You were doing it on the console.
I didn't console, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's probably quicker. So when we're in it now, we should actually. It still says 1 life. Why have they only got 1?
Did we change it? We did change it in the UI, didn't we?
We try changing it to 3. Check the UI renders correctly.
Yeah, it should be 3 now.
Does it render correctly if you forcibly set it to 3?
Did you commit that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
I'm sure I tested it, but
Render.
only visually.
Render lives bonus.
Ah, there it is. No, that's right. Yeah, lives there. Just set that lives in that for loop manually to 3 and just see whether it renders.
Should we press 3 already?
Is it definitely passing 3?
Oh, hang on. No, it isn't working. Look at that. I've just looked at it. It can't possibly work. It doesn't use the I. It's I.
Well, that's fine. Oh, right. It's not. It's just placed them on top of each other. Oh, right. So this should be
2 times I.
2 times I.
Yeah, I times 2 times pixel grid. That'll work better.
No, we only want to plus it to push it over, don't we? So technically, it should be I plus, because that's the padding around it.
No, because it's got the 2 times. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. I times 2 times pixel grid because they're too wide, aren't they?
Oh, right. Okay. So we can just do I times.
I plus 2.
Who's that?
Because it's 2 pixel grids wide each sprite. So times that by 2. Yeah, that'll do it.
That's some crazy masking off, because we've got a times 2 in there as well. Yeah, it renders, but we've got a divide by 2. Oh, wait a minute. So
the divide by 2 is because it doesn't. It's on an E. If you look at the squares, it's on odd square.
Okay.
Oh no. No, the divide by 2. So the 2 pixel grid, the 2 times pixel grid, that's because it starts at column 2. The I times pixel grid times 2 is because they're 2 grid sizes wide, and the pixel grid divided by 2 is because the sprite renderer centers the sprite on the cell.
So this is offsetting it by a bit on the left-hand side across. This is getting the size of it because it's 2, and then that's offsetting it again.
Yeah, it's drawing it. It wants to draw from cell 2 to cell 4, but if you tell it to draw on cell 3, it centers it on cell 3, so it draws it at 2.5. So the half that's just shifting the half.
Okay. Well, it renders.
Because if you notice, the ghost doesn't. If you look where the ghost actually sits, it sits on top of a cell. It doesn't sit at the corner of a cell to a corner of another cell. It sits on top of the cell that it's supposed to be in. So although it's an 8 by 8 cell, the ghost is 16 by 16. So it draws it 4 pixels early and 4 pixels over, so that it sits on the top of the cell.
Yeah.
This is weird like that. It's quite nice because back in the day, you'd have usually just drawn it where you just cell aligned it. Whereas it's quite nice that they didn't cell align that and they just centered it on the cell.
Cool.
I commit that as well. Oh, you doing it? Okay.
Yeah.
Are these commits going straight onto GitHub?
Yeah.
So I can pull it. If I pull it now, I'm pulling that Git that you're just doing.
Yeah. So if you pull master from yours.
Okay, I'll pull that in a minute.
I don't know how you got yours set up, but if you have multiple remotes, you can just do a git checkout upstream / master like that. And if you and then it'll just check out like what you've got.
I'm allergic to the command line. Yeah, I've got a commit sat on my desk to do all the board properly.
Okay.
From the sprites.
Do we want to fix the lives thing where it lies first? As we talked about that.
Yeah. Shall we rename game board first?
Yeah.
Might be better if you do that because I haven't got any refactoring on, I think. So.
Game board. What was we going to call it? Game settings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it. Whatever you want to do, resharper. What do you want to change? Oh, it wants to change an exception.
Yeah, leave that one.
I don't really care about them. Thanks.
Why is
Thanks
it?
for the help. Oh, because it matches on based on like comments and stuff that you've got in your code.
Okay.
So it renames everything. So.
Would you like me to just destroy all your comments?
So it'll rename everything, including things what it thinks are
which is now
related. So it's just gone and done all the derived types. So we've got like test game settings and game settings.
Okay.
Get Visual Studio to do that for you. They didn't do the game loader though, the board loader.
Oh, that's right.
Is that no? Because that's still game settings, isn't it? It brings back a game settings now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Game settings loader.
Yeah.
Feels like it. I might pull out these to separate files as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They probably want to go in a board, but just to throw something in, where I was doing some work with the actual board itself, I've just put that in a big matrix.
What do you mean?
So those collections for things like walls.
Yeah.
If you take the map, I don't know what it is, it's 32 by 40 or something like that. I've just put it in a 32 by 40 matrix. So that it looks almost like the, like the ASCII version of it. And then you can work out whether there's a wall just by going to that matrix. But I've swapped them all to objects. So you can do, if you're sat on a cell, so if you say board.cell column 10 row 5, once you've got that, you can say, is there a wall above me? Is there a wall below me? Things like that, and it points to the next one. So you can actually do, is there a wall above me? Is there a wall above that? If you want to as well.
But you can do that with these, to be fair, because you can just say, well, if it was a thingy, but you have to do some link on it. But if there's a map, like a set, you could just say, does this exist in the set for the walls?
Yeah.
So we could do it like this. So we could actually say it's a bit more like descriptive of what they are. So we can say, oh, these are all the walls, these are all the coins, these are all the portals, because that's kind of how we've written the code around the game being like, not from the perspective of how it's being drawn. So we don't really care like where these kind of positions are.
Okay.
All we care about is what they are. If that makes sense. So we try to decouple ourselves from like really a board is.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then technically,
because that means it makes our tests a lot more. Well, things.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter what type of wall it is. It is kind of just a case of, is there a wall there? Isn't there a wall there?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why we end up with them tests this wall analyzer thing.
Yeah.
Why is this all in bits? Game setting loader. Why does it say it's not there? It literally is there. Huh? Where'd it go? Huh? I think thing has killed it a bit.
Pretty sure I could kill it.
No, I think it's live share. I think we've now got duplicates thing.
Right.
I've now got a.
It's still got the board loader.cs file, and in it is game settings loader.
Oh, right, so it's not renamed the files. But then if you look at the board loader.
Oh, mine it shows it game setting loader.
Yeah, that's the old file, because this new file's called game setting loader, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just.
Have you got if you refresh the solution, you get a.
What's renamed
If
that?
I save it on mine, maybe.
I think it's screwed up because of live share.
What about now? I've just saved it on mine. It should have.
What? Board loader?
That file, yeah, because I had the correct contents in mine.
Well, I did a minute ago, but I don't anymore. I might have to kick you out of live share and then just take you back up here. Or do the changes because without people connected and then reconnect people. This was called game settings. That was called that. Where was the rows? So they're all right. Board game. There's one more which. Come on. Doesn't want to show me where that one is.
It might be a leftover one, which it does sometimes.
There you go.
That file's still the wrong name.
Yeah, I'll get reshuffled to change them all. There we go. I'll just run the test just to make sure everything passes from blowing everything up. What's it? What do you call it for? Board.
Games. It was board. Wait a minute, I've still got it open.
It was game board, wasn't it? Game board.
Board loader and game board, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. Curious about that. Right, I'll create another share. Yeah, like I was saying, Pierre, we tried to decouple the kind of UI from the actual game itself.
Okay.
That's why we end up, because we could have because we did talk about just having the walls and stuff, and just putting them actually on so the game knew about the walls. But to actually do all the game logic, you don't really care about what the walls look like. So that's why we went around kind of making it so the UI works out what wall type it is, then actually just embedding the wall type in the game.
So you can take the board then and sort of pass it twice, once for the UI and once for the game logic. Yeah,
well, the idea is that we don't couple ourselves to any kind of UI elements.
Yeah.
But keeping the board like this, so the board logic could just be moved to somewhere else, and we wouldn't care how the UI draws it.
Okay.
So if we was, for example, if we were passing this over the wire, we'd just tell the client saying that this is a wall, this is a wall, this is a wall, and this is a coin.
Yeah.
And the front end would just work out what he does with them walls. We don't really care.
Right.
As if we plugged in all the kind of which type of wall it is and all that stuff, you'd have to pass that down, and it's up to the client to decide kind of how it renders that, not for our game.
Yeah.
Well, the game objects. So it's just decoupling it, really.
Okay.
And because, to be fair, we start off with tests around the game, so we didn't care about the UI in any way.
Yeah.
So that's all renamed. So we
Send a link.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to click it again. I think it wants to share it now. Failed to create collaboration session. Internal error. Contact Microsoft to support. Yeah. Does that mean kill Electron? What? I'll just close it and open it again.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got a bit upset.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to like when you rename files and move things around and stuff. It seems to get very confused. Because it doesn't trace them files, and if you create them in like other ones, it's like a cool. Sharing. Hey. Wait this time. Yep. Is it connecting?
No. But it says I've joined.
Yep. How did you join?
Oh yes, but it's just a bit slow.
PacMan lives a life when collides into a ghost. See, I don't think why. Oh, it's because a ghost walks first. So we need a scenario where the ghost and the PacMan collide into each other, right?
Yep. Oh, well, the problem was, in our code, we were looking at the ghost's initial position, not where he's moved. That was the bug.
But we can, yeah. But if you write the test to say,
yeah,
when PacMan loses a life when collides with a ghost walking towards PacMan.
yeah.
And we have PacMan going right. The ghost.
I think we've got a strategy for the ghost going right, haven't we?
Ghost goes right. Oh yeah. So if you make PacMan go
Left.
left, yeah.
Yeah.
And put him so he's X+1, so he's in front of it, and the ghost is just X. No, that should be X-1. So the PacMan is, so it look like PacMan's here and then ghost is here, and they both move in. Then they'll swap over to be ghost and PacMan.
Yeah, they'll swap.
So that's what's happening at the moment. So that goes to the left. This one's going right. And then we tick and we assert that there's still a coin in the same place. And the score's not changed. And the live should be minus.
Ah, there's a different test, isn't it? It's the test above.
Oh, but this is a new test we're creating. Oh, wait a minute. I just like edited the wrong one.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, damn.
Might be better to put the PacMan and the ghost slightly further apart and tick twice.
Okay. We can, let me just revert that change. What did we do? That one. So this one. So if you have him going, this goes right strategy. PacMan loses a life when it collides with the ghost walking towards PacMan.
Yep.
So if you have that as a minus, no, that's right. +2, and then he's going left.
Yeah.
Is that value 2 or should it be 4? Oh, we can have that 2 in this one, -2. Because then they'd be like, so that's PacMan, no ghost. And then there's this 1, 2, 1, nope. And then should they do it? Yeah. And then that's when it collides together.
Yeah.
So 1. So yeah, 2 ticks.
There's an extra square in there. It's 5 wide, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 5 wide. Yeah, you still got another square in there.
No, I don't think it does, because we're testing the condition where they hit each other like this.
Yeah, but your X is the middle, and then you've got +2 or -2. So there's 5 in total.
Although it's +2 and -2 are going to work.
Yeah.
It's +2 and -1 that you need to do.
Yeah.
Which is what you drew.
So they right then, the +2 and -2 then.
Yeah, it's -1 that's going to cause the problem, because they go on the -1. If you go back to what you had before, that's if you've got +2 -1, you've got that scenario. So if that's your naught line, as it were, +2. So if that's your naught, you've got +2 and -1, and then they're going to go to there, and then they're going to cross over, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you want to test.
Let's just run this. See if this one actually.
Yeah.
I think this one will work.
It won't because there's a bug in the game class.
Oh, the one. What? Yeah. Okay. It would work if we actually read the right values.
Yeah.
Which bit's got a bug in it?
Yeah. So if you look in the tick method, yeah, on line 107.
Yeah.
It's saying settings.ghost. So that's the initial position of the ghost, not where they currently are.
Yes.
It's just ghosts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, and that has it's ghost dot value.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Because they're crossing over.
I don't think that would actually do it in that scenario there.
You probably need more. What's the word?
Oh no, it's because it's outside of. So we said if it wasn't to, if the settings.
You need another tick, don't you? Maybe.
Well, they're like. So this is 2 and it's.
No, yeah, that's you got too many dots now.
Is that right?
There should be 5 on the top one, so you should have 3 dots. Yeah. And then after 1 tick there.
So 1 tick's there, 1 tick's. Yeah.
Oh yes,
so
they should have collided, shouldn't they?
They're collided. Let's see if that works. Because if that works, then technically +2 - 1 should work because it's even closer. No.
So, well, didn't we find out it's something to do with this? Not that bit.
Was it? We were checking. So we're comparing the ghost with PacMan after PacMan's moved.
Oh yeah, that's it. So we're checking new. Yeah, that's it. This is, should we say PacMan? No. So we. Okay, yeah. So settings wall contains. If there's a wall in front of PacMan.
Oh, that was the problem. We don't want to be. Yeah, we want to pull it. Yeah, that means yes. You're right.
It was that one.
Yeah.
So we check the
and
ghost.
PacMan as well, because otherwise he could have be hiding in a wall.
And yeah, it was just. Initializer can be simplified. Okay. Huh? Just tell me it can be simplified, but it won't give me. Ah, is that it? That's boring. You went in the test and other things as well. Oh, you don't have a console anymore. That still doesn't work. Oh, it does work, yeah. No, it doesn't work. Still breaks. Live should be 2, we'll find 3. So PacMan's going left.
Yeah, so now this is the other problem. This would probably work. Yeah. So this is because I don't know what the rules are. Do
we can't hear you properly, David. You got your microphone there.
Should we be checking for collision before or after PacMan moves, I guess?
Technically after.
Yeah, okay, so we need to change our code slightly then.
Well, we want to move the ghost first, then PacMan. No, move PacMan first,
Yeah,
then the
no,
ghost.
so all you need to do is just put the other side of that if statement, I think.
Well, this to there. But they wouldn't make any difference, that would it?
It depends whether you're moving both.
Yeah, I think we do it right at the end of the method, don't we?
If you do it right, at the end of the method, you're still going to have the issue of them crossing each other.
Isn't that's a special case though? I think because you can't always.
The other way to do it, the other way to do it is just put more precision on it and move smaller per tick.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, like if you were moving a fifth of a position, if you say it's within, well, no, not fifth, 10th might be better because then we can divide it in half. Then anything from 0.5 to 1.5 is going to put you in the 1 square, at which point they're definitely going to intercept.
That makes it pass, by the way, pulling that up.
What happens if you swap the, if you change the size of change the distance to 1 square further apart or 1 square closer, does it still pass?
1 square closer, said it like that.
Yeah, if you do +1 and -2, does it still pass?
So that now only passes it if we walk onto the ghost. If the ghost walks onto us.
Yeah. If you move it 1 square closer, does it still pass?
So the ghost 1 square closer.
Either way, it doesn't matter. Just move one of them. Now does it pass?
No.
Crossing each other.
Yeah. Also, I don't think it's going to pass in this case either, where we've got the PacMan and he's looking upwards, and there's a wall there. I think if we're facing upwards to the wall, so only the ghost is moving. I don't think that's going to pass.
Well, we can do that. We can make it so the PacMan stays still. Oh, no, we can't.
No, I mean,
Oh,
if he faces the wall,
he
doesn't move.
Yeah, so
if he's like that, well,
yeah,
I don't think that's going to pass.
Is it going to attempt, because it's going to attempt to move into the wall?
Yeah, so the PacMan won't move.
Okay, that's fine. We can do that.
Will pass.
Should we just like do them random scenarios? So if you put this back to being, because this one's valid, get rid of.
Maybe that will pass, actually. I'm not sure.
PacMan loses their life when collides with a ghost. When PacMan is facing a wall. So we can stick a wall in here. Wait a minute. This ghost list gets initialized when they. Oh, wait a minute.
That's all right.
When does that get created? Is that? Yeah, so if you add the ghost in afterwards, is that right? We're not creating a new game here. We're using the one which the ghost gets. So if you add a ghost in, how is that working? Did we have an issue with that before?
What have we got in the setup for the test?
So I'm just rewriting the wall one. So if you put a wall above him, which would be
y minus 1.
yeah, -1. And then you go move him upwards. And then we put a ghost coming in to the left of him, which here can be just plus, oh, this goes right. But yeah, so it goes the way, but so it can be -1 to him.
That's fine, yeah.
And then we take 1, so it should deduct our life, current lives. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that needs 0.
That should be just that. PacMan -1. That's probably why I put these out into separate variables, just to be X and Y. So it's a bit more. It's weird formatting out there. So that's good. But I don't think, is this even getting, when we do this tick on here, do we actually, because we've copied the ghost when we initialize the game, does that mean they're just not there?
Is it setting up? Is it setting up a?
How come the test passed before then?
We're adding a ghost in.
Oh, of course, we were taking the board ghost before. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why these are not passing.
So it's just we're just not setting our game up correctly. Then our test up.
No, just
We want to create the game within that test, don't we?
Yeah. So there's no ghosts in there at all because the game is not being created.
I think we did that on one of the other tests. You know, we ended up creating the game in the test.
Yeah, I kind of remember. Which is fine. We can just create a game here.
Yep.
That should be game clock. Should probably group these tests together as well, to be fair, into different files, so it's just one long game one.
Yes.
Still doesn't run, but that might be right. That it doesn't work.
Still no ghosts.
Still don't have any ghosts. How weird. How does that work? I add them to here. Or is it just completely running a different test for me? Oh yeah, we do have ghosts. I think it was just running a different test.
So I think we just need to shuffle this code out in a different order.
Yeah.
I think, if I may, we can take this code to do with coins and because that's only going to be valid if we successfully moved onto a square that contained a coin. If we haven't moved, that square is not going to contain a coin anyway. So that's going to say if you go there.
Mm-hmm.
This bit here will either PacMan is going to remain in the same place or PacMan's moved. So then we can check. So here we've moved our ghosts. Then we move PacMan. Then we can check for a collision.
That works for that scenario, but not for the previous one we just created.
Yeah.
So if we
does that build now? Well, I think the crossing over is a special case because the other 3 directions that won't be valid.
But that doesn't mean we check it twice. We check it when we moved it and when the ghost moves.
Yeah.
We're moving it twice in the tick now, the PacMan.
Are we?
Yeah, in the tick. Because you've got new PacMan equals PacMan move, and then if we check the walls, we've got another new PacMan equals. Oh, hang on, no, new PacMan. Sorry, that's portals. Me being stupid. Move the PacMan. Now you still need to check the walls before you do move. Well, no, you don't have to actually, do you? You just need to check the walls before.
I'm going to update all these tests which relate to ghosts because I think a lot of them are just ghosts.
We certainly should have one failing test now about the coins. That would be an else if.
If you've got, right, just thinking, if you've got that PacMan move, let's put them on row 0. Put PacMan at 0, 0. If you do a PacMan move and move him up into the wall, then the ghost is going to try and go towards him, and he's not on the same line now. And then you're going to move the PacMan back down to realign.
I think this is failing anyway. So when we collide, based on like what we did before, that doesn't work anymore.
No.
Which is when they're going like one in each, and then they flip over.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's only the flipping we haven't got code for. I think the other.
And then we've got the error with the coins.
Oh, so that should be fixed now. If we run it now, I think that one should work.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you'll need to the one.
No, that still fails.
What's the actual test for that? How are we moving the PacMan for that?
So this is the PacMan does not collect a coin, and the score stays the same when it collides with a ghost.
So they're one apart. This is the same thing. They're flipping over, isn't it?
It's not colliding with the ghost, so it's still taking the coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
positions. So yeah, it's the same bug for both cases, I think.
I think you'll have to do the move PacMan, run all the collision, then move all the ghosts, run all the collision again.
Yeah, I think that's what we did. I think we just need to move the ghosts, check the collisions, move the PacMan.
Check the collisions, yeah.
Yeah.
You either got to do it that way, or you got to do precision.
Yeah.
Because we can just pull this out into a method called has died or something, and then just do the same bit of.
Well, you probably just okay, yeah.
Has died. I think it's called died. D-I-E-D.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
put it after moving. Yeah, get rid of the else if. So it's just an if, and then we just return from in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you could just stick that one up.
Yeah.
You'll still need to constrain.
Yeah.
Because that deals with.
You still need to constrain PacMan before you do move all ghosts. So that bit. I don't know whether my cursor. Can you see my cursor? Why is my cursor not on there?
Well, it should be.
Where it says on line 105, where you're checking whether there's a wall.
Yeah.
You'll need to do that after the move PacMan before you do the move all ghosts. Because if PacMan's moving upwards and goes through a wall, the ghost will try and move upwards to the same square, and then PacMan will move back down because he can't go through the wall. So he'll be going up like that. The ghost will be moving towards him, and then he'll be coming back down.
Oh no, we only move him up if the has died method checks the original PacMan location, which is PacMan.
Right.
And we only set PacMan to the new location if it's valid.
Yeah.
Does move all ghosts? What does move all ghosts move to? The current PacMan.
Yes.
Okay, that's right then. Yeah, fair enough.
Is that running on this? Well, it still fails. Why is that? What? Wait a minute, I need to debug this. Unless it's just that being stupid. It's in the console as well. So
Yeah, I think that should have worked. Oh no, sorry. Oh, there is. Oh no, that's.
this is the right test. Oh, wait a minute. I think it might be the test setup. Oh no, it's still using game. Goes right. And then what's this one? Is it? This one won't work because you need a different game object for this.
Oh, okay. Oh, but someone's got no ghost.
This one's got no go, so that's why this one's not working. I think. This ghost is standing still as well on this one. While PacMan walks into him.
Oh right. Oh right. So that should have worked anyway then. Oh, but that wouldn't have worked because of the.
So that one's worked because the board weren't set up correctly. And then this one.
Yeah, what's wrong with this one then?
I don't know why this one's not working.
Okay, this one we'll have to debug then.
So this is the one where we're two at each side. It moves in one, then two onto the same position.
Well, no, then they're standing either side of X. Yeah. Oh, you need another tick, don't you?
Oh
no.
You should get there.
2 away, 1 away. Yeah. Then
because this one's the one where it's like ghost dot PacMan, and then he moves in. So that's one tick, and the next tick, ghost moves.
Yeah.
And we should have.
Yeah, and then we check, and it's not hit him, and then PacMan moves.
Yeah.
And this is when it goes boom.
Yeah.
Should do. Yeah.
So that's so all the ghosts move. Has he died? Nah. Is there a wall in the way to move to? Nope.
No, so then PacMan's updated. Then we do the second died check.
And then this checks that any ghost which have currently It's been updated. Because I hit. Oh, I know what we're doing. Oh no, that's right though.
Same
So this.
I just noticed. I'll check that.
That's the private.
Yeah.
Remember, that one's just
Public one.
Just the public one. So it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, okay. So we check the X to make sure it's not on PacMan. Check the Y, make sure it's on PacMan. Huh. Okay, I'm pretty confused again.
Go on, stick a breakpoint on that check.
Something's going a bit weird.
I love it when you have to debug your own tests. Best of it, debug your code.
Well, it's these things where it's just like makes no sense at all, is it really? It'd be something stupid.
Yeah.
But we're
It
not.
looks obvious. You move one, move the other, move it, done. It doesn't. You can just set a watch on ghosts 0, as it were.
So I think this is the one where it should. So the ghost is at now X11, Y10.
Where's PacMan?
PacMan's at 9 and
And that one.
That's the first
10.
tick.
Okay, go for it. Run another tick.
No, I think that was the tick. So that's X11, Y10.
That's it. They've
X
one closer.
9.
So that makes
Y.
Yeah, that's correct. They've moved one closer.
Yeah. So this time.
This one's got no ghosts.
Ah.
I think he's running like all the tests, and that's why it's a bit weird.
Is it?
It shouldn't matter because they're all in their own. They're all in their own objects.
Yeah, well, I think this one's.
There's no static.
Yeah, but they get refreshed every time. But I think this is just running all the tests for some apparent reason. I think the test run has been stupid and running everything.
It said it to run that individual test, and I said it made a difference. But it's coming back with no ghosts second time round.
But I think that's another test. I don't think it's replaced it with no ghosts because that's just.
New precision of ghosts, move all ghosts. We know that move all ghosts works, don't we?
Yeah, that works. Yeah. Has this got my? Oh yeah, this is. I think this might be. So this is the first tick. It checks if it's died, which is. Huh? Why is ghosts? Which? It is this one. Oh, I get it. It's because this game clock is connected to another game.
Oh, of course, yes.
So it's doing two. It's actually doing 2 games, even though it's only assessing on 1. That's why it's confusing because the tick is actually ticking on 2 games. Can it actually do that? Is that
yeah, because I think we did a subscribe, didn't we, to the clock?
Ah.
I think we over-engineered the clock, didn't we? Oh no, we didn't.
No, you did. The implementation one, but the actual UI users we didn't. This one we did. So technically, that one, the first tick of that is still, and then this is the actual tick of it. Yeah. So this is the actual first. That's the actual first one.
Yeah.
This is not the second one, and then this is the second one. So this is the second tick. So we've still got 1 ghost. He's moved from X12, Y10, and PacMan is 8 and 10. They look like they're going the wrong way.
Yeah. I'll
Well,
fix the
that-
clock as well.
That's going left, and that ghost going right. Isn't that what? That. How are they going in opposite directions? So ghost goes right when you plus that to that. Yeah. Okay. That's changed directions to left. Oh, I see. No, this is going right. Oh, that's right, isn't it? Okay, I'm so confused.
Right.
So the wait a minute. I think I know why.
I think I'll fix the test clock anyway. So.
Hang on. You've done PacMan +2, and then you're subtracting 2 back off, so they're starting on top of each other, moving away.
Yeah, I think it's because this one takes it from the PacMan in this game, and a different game down here.
Yeah, it's because if on 274 you're getting the PacMan, which is at 10 or whatever, adding 2 to it, so it's at 12, and then you're setting the ghost to 12 minus 2, so you're setting the ghost to 10. So you're putting them on top of each other and then moving them apart.
Yeah.
So you need to take the +2 off.
Off of there, but we do need PacMan to move though.
Yes.
I think that
That's right. Yeah. So on 282, you just want to do -4.
Yeah.
282.
Yeah. So that should be x -4 because x is the initial position of PacMan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that should be just y of PacMan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on the current, that's the initial starting position of PacMan,
Yes.
right? And then we need to set PacMan. Oh no, we need.
PacMan's already got a position.
Yeah. So you just need to take 4 off him.
And then we can take.
So on 280, just take 4 off instead of taking 2 off.
Yeah.
Can we do this? Let's do this. So it puts him 4-2 to him.
Yeah, you could have left him where he was. And
Oh, understand there instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put -4.
Yeah, that's true. We don't need to move. We actually need to move back there.
Yeah.
And then everything else should be the same.
That'll work now.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Should we just run all the tests just to make sure we don't break
Yeah,
anything
because
else?
I changed that test clock, so we may have broken something.
Nope, I'll run
No,
this.
good.
Let's just run it, see what it looks like. Because we should die now. Well,
Yeah.
our score should go down properly. Especially if we're in the middle of a wall. Ah. Nope. Seems to be able to walk through himself.
They're swapping.
Really?
Swing any standstill.
Why is he moving to the left?
Oh, he moves into another position if he can't work out one to move to.
Yeah. Is he just going like that on yours?
Yeah. He's literally just.
Sitting there like that, and then every now and then moving. On the update, that's better. Yeah. He's still not dying.
No. If it should just make any sense. Let's just.
It did build, didn't it? Yeah, must have done.
Yeah, it did build, yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, it did build. It was in debug. That's in debug. Yeah.
Right, it must have built, but yeah.
Yeah, that live should just be going down. Straight down.
Oh, yeah. So that's actually. Oh, yeah. We have got lives of 17. I think it's just the UI is not drawing it properly.
Sorry. I'm not taking the blame for that.
Do we just plumb in 3 again or something stupid? I can't remember.
We didn't did we?
I can't remember. Oh yeah, we just yeah.
Ah, right.
We just hard code it.
Game.
Right, let's just try again. It's gonna kill us. Oh, we can't get out. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, so that actually works for both scenarios now, I think it seems. That's good. Excellent. Let's commit that.
Yeah. I think we should look at the ghost starting in the middle, and then we can have them returning to the middle when we've been killed.
Well, they start wherever we tell them to start, don't they?
They wander. They've got I mean, the arcade one's got a scatter and chase. So when they're in scatter mode, they're heading to the 4 corners.
Yeah.
So when you die, they'll go into scatter until you reappear to make sure they're well away from you.
Oh, do they? Okay, they don't just start in the middle.
No. There's a scatter. There's like a scatter mode and a chase mode.
Yeah.
When they're in chase mode, they're all doing their different tricks that they do.
Yeah.
And they do that for like 7 seconds or something, and then at the end of the 2nd seconds, they go back into scatter for 7 seconds, where they'll head back up to their corners.
Okay.
And then it sort of repeats around there, and then as you get further up the levels, that all gets a bit tighter until they never go into scatter.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because once it's hit him, we need to pause the whole game engine whilst he dies.
Yeah.
Then go into scatter to get them off.
Yeah.
Then put him back.
So if you die near a corner, you'd be quite near one of the ghosts potentially when you come back.
Yeah, well, when he comes back, he'll come back in the center.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes.
When this has started, yeah.
So you set it. So it goes into, once it hits him, it goes into a complete pause.
Yeah.
He dies.
Yeah.
Then you go to scatter.
Yeah.
And once they're scattered, put him back in the middle.
Yeah. So maybe our next test then is just that after we've died, we appear back in the center.
Yeah, because we've got to. Otherwise, it's just going to eat all the lives as it continues to collide. Yeah.
Yeah. How do we then pause? Well, I suppose if you could pause the
state, really, with flags on it, like is dying, is in pause with a counter that counts down, so it knows how long to.
Well, the thing is that like the board itself can just move the Pac-Man into the middle, and other ones can just go outside. And the board, the UI already knows it's died because the lives have already ticked down, -1. So it knows.
I don't think the UI cares really. The only thing is we just disregard any keyboard input in effect.
Well, we just don't move Pac-Man for a while. While the other ones scatter out. Yeah.
Pac-Man needs to be hidden for a bit whilst they scatter.
Okay. Yeah.
So you need a flag of is playing.
Yeah.
Is dying, but it needs to be a counter so that it can count so many ticks.
Yeah. Well, we'd probably need seconds, wouldn't we, rather than ticks, because ticks aren't.
Well, you can work that out, can't we?
Yeah,
well,
we probably want to record the time he's died, because a tick isn't necessarily stable, is it? Because it's going to depend how fast your machine's running.
Yeah. Are we moving? How often are we moving the pieces? I haven't looked at the code on that bit.
2 seconds thing.
Are we moving them every second or every tick? Every
tick is just like an action on the board, and that collates to like 200 milliseconds at the moment. So when we was going to like pick, when you eat the what are they called, the power pills, or what are they called? We was just going to tick faster because you move faster.
Okay.
Well, the thingy moves fast, doesn't it?
The ghosts slow down. They go about half the speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's quite easy to do because you can move the ticks up, but then only move the ghost every other tick, can't you?
Yeah.
I think it might be better that if we always tick at the same rate,
Yeah.
But we record when we last ticked, and then record like when we last moved the PacMan, for example.
Yeah.
And if we've exceeded a known duration, then we move them.
Then we move and reset the
tick
clock, as it were. The last.
We could just do. You could just do like a constant count, couldn't you, on each piece?
Well, you don't want to do a count because that's assuming the tick's actually correct.
Warren,
I don't think you can guarantee the tick is actually on that interval.
Okay, right. So your clock's set at 200 milliseconds now, and then when you move, so when you do PacMan move, you're not moving every tick, though, are you?
Yeah, that's every tick.
So that's every fifth of a second, then, isn't it?
I feel like it moves as fast as that. Okay. Yeah, you just need a state for alive and dead, really. So as you subtract that lives, you switch the state to dead, and the dead, when you switch it to dead, you switch it to whatever it is, 50 ticks or not 50 ticks, maybe 20 ticks or something like that, and then you count those ticks down, and when those ticks hit 0, you put the PacMan back in the middle and reset it back to playing.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's respawning, isn't it? Because I guess dead is the end of the game.
Yeah, respawn. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd probably right. Like, yeah, we could do that. So when we die, we put them back into respawn as well.
Yeah.
The state of the board becomes to respawn, and we move the PacMan back into the middle.
Yeah. So we'll move the PacMan off the board whilst we're in respawn until we hit tick 0, as it were, and then we respawn and respawn it.
Yeah. So I suppose we should start with this test.
Yeah. So I guess the first test is then when we die, we go into respawn mode.
Yeah.
Which one should I copy? Flies with a ghost standing still.
Like...
Standing still one's fine. It's easy to work out.
You just take on the bottom of that. You can put second assertion in there, I think.
Game status.
It's whether you want a dying before respawn, because rather than him just the ghost falls on him, he just disappears and then reappears in the middle. I mean, the arcade's got he unfolds, as it were. Everything stops and he just sort of peels apart, and then it goes into respawn.
Yeah, but I suppose you could just do that when it says respawning, can't you?
Yeah, you could do, but if you do him peeling on each tick, so peel on the tick, then you'll need to check. You'll be doing a check for respawn. Like if you did the counter down from 20 to 0, if you said the respawn from 20 to 10 is the peeling with everything stood still, and then from 10 to 0 is everything scattering back to where it should be, and then 0 is the respawn. Probably better to have a middle state rather than checking for tick greater than 10 for part of it and tick greater than 20 for part of it. So So to go from playing to dying with a counter to respawning with a counter to respawned back to play.
Okay, so I actually think now it should just be on PacMan. So PacMan should be just have a status of itself, because PacMan knows it can move as well.
Yeah. So PacMan will know if he's in dying or boarding. Then
and I guess the game can change its state and also change the state of the ghosts. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a thing, like game.pacman. So when he's lost alive, game.pacman should be in a state of dying. And then after so many ticks of him dying, which we can do,
he should then
he becomes alive, but in the original position.
You need to, because it'll pause whilst he's dying, because everything pauses whilst he dies. Then when he's in respawning mode, everything scatters. Then he respawns.
Yeah. So it's got 3 states then.
So yeah. So it's whether the dying state goes on. If you don't want to pause the ghosts, should you be running the ghost code conditional on whether PacMan is dying?
Yeah, but you could do that quite easily within inside the tick, because you could just say if the PacMan state is dying, just don't bother with any of this stuff. Just return, and then you can just keep going round on the PacMan until we move him back to after so many ticks. So maybe it's like 10 ticks. You then go back into the original position from the board.
Yeah,
and we can actually test that quite easily, I think.
We can put the counter for him dying in PacMan as well, because then in backup online sort of 2:45ish. No, sorry, that's on the test. In tick, we can put code for him dying in the move. So we can say if he's dying, then count down. If he's respawning, then move him off the screen. And then we don't have to worry about the counter or anything like that. We put it in, put the actual counters in the PacMan. That makes sense? So then the code, the tick code for dealing with PacMan dying is still PacMan move, because it can read its own state.
The problem is you don't want to run everything. I suppose, yeah. So you could actually do PacMan move, and then you could say if
dying, return,
dying, then don't bother running the rest of it. Yeah, okay. Let's just write the test, and then we kind of know where we go. So this is a thing we're saying that PacMan state is a thing.
Yeah.
And we have that as an email, and we got. I don't know what we've got at the moment, but alive, dying,
respawning.
Oh no, we need dead as well for the end of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, because after he's died, if you've got no lives, you don't want to go to respawning. You want to go dead. Yeah. Where are the lives stored? Are they stored on the PacMan or on the?
They're on the board, the game at the moment. Yeah. But in theory, they could actually just move to the PacMan as well.
Yeah. What we want to do then, though, if you look at the PacMan class, because it's immutable.
Yeah.
So what I added those with new X, new Y, new direction methods. We're gonna have to start using those, because otherwise in the constructor you're gonna have to start passing in
everything in the world.
Yeah,
I agree. So we have oh, I didn't want that there. Just throw it over here to time in. This state or status? Status.
Status, I think.
I feel like that should be called status now. Okay, we have a failing test.
We're running that. We didn't change the state. Did you change the state on when the lives went?
No, I just ran it to get a failed test.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so put found alive. So we just need to do it on when he dies.
Yeah.
We have to create a new.
Yeah, really want to write. I'll add a new helper method. How about that?
Yeah.
With new status.
Yeah, because we just need to PacMan
We don't
equals PacMan with new status.
I've just added it, so you should see it now.
Dying.
I'm gonna have to make a couple of breaking changes, I'm afraid.
It needs to it further down. Do we want to?
Yeah, no, I was thinking about should we just move this?
Because the lives can come out and go in that new status and everything, can't it? If we move the lives, rather than do it with new status. No.
Yeah, but I suppose the problem is when we do that, we always like the PacMan they need to know about. Well, I suppose that makes sense as so I think the board still needs to know about the ghosts and everything else, and if the PacMan's died, well, it tells the PacMan to change its state. So when I think it's the extension method should actually be the help method should be just PacMan dot kill or something, and it removes a life and changes it to dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then the two state transitions in the same method into it, and it's all encapsulated that as at the moment. The lives are part of the game, even though they're only exposed to the game.
And then with new state, you'd have to check you'd have to check has it moved to dying or not, and then you'd have to subtract the lives if it has moved to dying. But if it's moved to respawning, don't change the lives and stuff. So it would make sense, like you say, to do some sort of forced status change. So change to died, whatever.
What's this station?
It looks correct on my screen.
What's this?
It all looks perfect on my screen. It's direction, comma, status on mine. No, I can't fix it.
What if I close and open it again? What if I don't save it and it open again? No. Yes. Direct.
Yeah, it should be direction, comma, status. So now it looks wrong on mine. I'll close and reopen it on mine.
There you go, I've got it open now.
Yeah, that should be status equals status. Oh, it's still messed up.
It might be the live share. Mine need to close and create a new one.
Is there like a resync button or something I can do?
I think in VS Code there is. I don't know if there's on this one. I think it's if you can get a window that says live share.
My PacMan's tidy, same as yours.
If I leave and I'll connect again, let's see if that works.
I'm gonna make a move in a minute, but I got like bounced off earlier on. Did all you guys have that happen to you?
No.
Oh?
No, we deliberately started again at one point.
Yeah, when we rename some files, it just screwed up the session.
Yeah,
So
well,
imagine
like,
that.
I had something really peculiar where like my entire like internet on my computer and my phone all stopped working. Had to reboot everything, and I think
we didn't quite have that bad.
I'm wondering if it was slightly to do with the live share stuff. When I came back, I had to re-sign into everything again. So
Weird. Yeah.
I guess you do get these slightly bizarre happenings. But yeah, cheers for letting me like follow along and watch what's going on. It's
no problem.
all of these problems which seem to come out of nowhere.
Programming.
But like, it's certainly good to keep my brain working. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time, and thanks again.
Yeah, we'll probably do another session later this week.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
we'll post on Slack and stuff like that. So
I look forward to seeing it again. Cool. Anyway, take care now.
Yeah, and you.
Bye.
Bye.
I do need to actually go to the shop at some time tonight as well. So.
I'm back in with a working game now. Right.
Okay, cool. We've got these build issues with these change direction.
Yeah, so now we need to start using the helper functions.
Yeah.
Do we have a change direction? With direction?
Yeah, with new direction.
Okay. What does this one do? Portals? Oh, with new X and Y position. Nope.
Yeah, it's status on the end of you now. It needs, does it? Or no, it doesn't. No. I did right.
Let's go and move the X and Y. And also the direction. Oh, no, it doesn't change direction because the direction's changed up here, so it should be always the same. So it's really just change X and Y. New X.
We're going to have a method that takes both.
Sorry. But then we can have one. If you move it, should we move lives into PacMan now? So,
yeah, okay.
So I'll just call something called lives.
Okay, I'll add that in.
I hear my dog barking.
Yep.
I'll use that as an opportunity to get a drink.
Okay. Yeah, this
What
should
we call
be a
this?
with new lives for the moment.
Yeah, because I think this should actually.
Yeah, you're saying about dot kill.
Yeah.
So I'll add a kill method.
Yeah, because it'd be better if I could just say dot kill, and it just gives me back a PacMan which is dying.
Yeah, okay.
I've just created a method.
Oh, okay. Yeah, confused me. Right, yeah.
And that could actually just has all the state set up because you can minus the life in there and everything else.
Yeah.
So it's all nicely encapsulated in that. And then that means that this is literally just, if it has died, then go kill him.
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up.
Dying. Yeah, dying.
Oh, lives is on settings, which is now on PacMan. Which I can't set. So anything what's set in game settings, we have lives, which can't exist on there now because it's now PacMan,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
which is fine. It just means we have to go back and refactor all this stuff with lives on it. Oh, that's new status. Alive. 3. I think that should all work. Oh, we've got some tests, which
That's actually better for the tests, actually. That we can set the number of lives like that, I think.
our game loader needs to understand. Oh, yeah. These are just okay. This is just saying it's alive and he has 3 lives.
Should we take that 3 out of there?
Yeah, well, that's it. Like the game settings now doesn't know about lives. It's the PacMan that knows about lives. So it's just like removed everything from game settings and just pulled it up.
The PacMan start with game settings start lives rather than passing a 3 into all those methods. I don't know.
Oh, for the constructor. Yeah, you could just create an overlay for the constructor.
Then it's a bit back to front, isn't it? Because, yeah.
But a lot of these don't really care. That's the thing. They don't really. Well, I suppose that they could just be part of the test of actually go create a PacMan with whatever I need. But so they're all done. Oh, that's just set to dying.
And did it work?
Yeah, it worked. Yeah, so you can commit that because that's all still working. Oh,
Yep.
wait. Oh yeah, it's just that. You commit that? Sorry.
Yep, I can commit that. I commit that.
Because they can actually write quite easily tests around this because we can just give the game a PacMan, which is already dying, and should say, we can say the ghost shouldn't move for 10 ticks.
Yeah.
Quite easily. And the PacMan stays the same position for 10 ticks, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, we can say the PacMan becomes respawned after 10 ticks, or
Yeah.
and when he's respawned, he's in the middle. Yeah.
So I think I feel like we've not really done loads tonight, but yeah, I think we're in a better position. Because even though I think it probably runs exactly the same as it ran before.
I think it's exactly the same as before.
yeah. Well, you changed quite a lot of code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of these weird projects though where you could probably just, if you weren't worried about tests or decent architecture, you could probably hack the whole thing out quite quickly. But that's not really the point of the exercise, is it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I suppose at least our lives are deducting now, which they didn't do before.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we fixed. Yeah.
They stop deducting once you're in dying.
Yeah. We just dive. Well, they keep deducting. You just can't see them. They're off the screen.
That's an easy fix because we just put it at the top of the tick. If we're not in play mode, then stop.
Yeah, well, I think that should be a test saying if we die and we've got no lives, we should go into.
No, I meant whilst we're dying, because once that ghost has hit us,
yeah,
we change to dying. We change it to dying now, aren't we? It is happening.
Yeah. So the test to write that is actually quite easy. That's what I mean.
So at the top of the tick, we can now say if we're dying, don't allow any movement.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably have to drop off anyway.
Okay.
You guys can continue if you want to.
No, that'll do for me. I'm quite tired.
I need to get to the shop. That's all. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, we'll discuss when we're going to do it next.
Yeah, probably the end of this week, I guess.
But yeah, it'll be quite good. Had more people joining. It's good to have you, Peter.
Yeah, that's good.
Doing a commentary of actually how the game items work. It's always quite useful.
It's quite complicated. All the different bits on it.
Well, it's just like kind of like even if you go on like Wikipedia and read about it, like fair enough, you get the most of the gist of things, but it's just a bit like about the ghost following you and how it only changes direction when it hits certain things and stuff like that.
Well, and the 4 ghosts do 4 different things.
Yeah, I think the 4 different ghost things will be quite easy when we get to that bit because we've got these strategies now.
Strategy, yeah.
And because I know that these were just test strategies, but we have the one what follows you is this direct chase to PacMan strategy. And we just create more of these. And even the ones what are actually, so when we're flocking to the corners, we can just give like a move directly to top left corner and top right corner strategy to them.
Yeah, and if we get a generic mover that moves in the direction and keeps moving until it hits a wall or a junction and can't change direction, then we can just pipe that into all the different strategies and then they will behave correctly as well.
Yeah. Because I'm guessing that there's going to be like a strategy for each.
Yeah.
Like, the ghost, whatever ghost is what we create, is going to have a bunch of strategies. Because there's one of the ghosts what actually runs to him and then runs away or whatever it is. Yeah, and that's quite easy to do once you've got 2 strategies because you have a run towards, run away, and then a strategy to encapsulate that, which just keeps flipping between them and things.
Yeah, you've got that one's, I think it's within 8 cells of him. It'll go towards him until it's within 8 cells, and then I can't remember which way it goes after that. The other one looks to see where PacMan will be in 4 moves time.
Yeah.
If he continues in the same direction. So when you're actually playing, you can flip direction. So when they're chasing you, you turn round whilst you're near a junction, and the ghost will then see that you're going to be a couple of spaces below him, in which case he'll start going downwards or he'll turn around a corner or something to try and get the square. It's quite interesting, the game mechanics on it.
Yeah, cool.
I'll see if I can sort the UI side out. I did have a go at it, but it's you have to draw it properly. You have to put more detail on the board. So it depends whether you want to do that. Otherwise, I'll have a crack without putting detail on the board. Okay,
it's up to you. And then we'll look at it next time.
Yeah.
To play, I suppose. Cool. Right.
Okay.
Well, I'll catch you guys a bit.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Bye all.
Cheers.
Have a good evening. Bye.